What it means to me is carrying on Michael Jordan's legacy on and off the court. He's an anomaly. Not many people have done what he's done in an industry, period, point blank, end of story. Hi, I'm Reggie Saunders, Vice President of Entertainment and Influencer Marketing for the Jordan brand, and this is My Life in Sneakers. It wasn't something I said, oh, I'm gonna start collecting sneakers. But I know when I realized when I look in the bottom of my closet as a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, I was like, oh man, I got a lot of sneakers. You know, I grew up, my father was in the Army. I was born on the Army base in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. I'm a country boy at heart, but when we moved to the DMV area, all of a sudden the city thing started kicking in and I was seeing different things. I'm hearing Baltimore house music, I'm hearing DC go-go. I was trying to pop lock and windmill and backspins and, you know, I'm walking around with my cardboard and a boombox. I do remember my first real Foot Locker experience. I pick up these shoes and they're white low-top ponies with a blue check, and his signature on the back was David Thompson. My dad's like, I'm not spending $47.99 on those sneakers. There's no way, son. Full circle, Michael Jordan had David Thompson present him at the Hall of Fame because it was his favorite player. That David Thompson pony was it for me. A lot of people don't know this, but I originally signed with NC State to play football, my dream. And it got cut short because my mom got breast cancer. If I'd have went to North Carolina State, this conversation might not be happening. And I remember my mom saying, what are you gonna do with the sports marketing degree? I don't understand. And I'm like, no, mom, like, it's like a corporation. Like they have accounting, they have marketing, they have public relations. She's like, okay, all right, well, let's see where this goes. And years later, I was working for an agency that represented the Jordan brand, but I had a key card in my pocket. I had a Jordan showroom. And people trusted me because when they came, they were getting, free T-Mobile service. And I could leave with some Jordans. For my girl too? She can get some? Yeah. I got to work on the 16 and the 17 and the 18 launches. And that's when everything started coming to fruition. And then Larry Miller and H. White were talking to Michael one day. He's like, hey, you know, this kid, Reg, he works for us, right? They're like, no, he works for the agency that represents us. He's like, what? And then Larry and H said to Michael, yeah, we don't need the agency, we need Reg. People don't know, like they just think, they just gave him a friends and family. There's always a business reason behind it, right? If you're looking at these trunners with Travis Scott and Cactus Jack here on the side, he loved the trunner. And we were talking performance at the time, and the trunner was coming out in the marketplace, and we did for friends and family trunners. I still think we need to bring these back somehow. This needs to be a shock drop. Hello, sneakers folks. And this is when Trav wasn't into that brown palette. This was him saying, man, I love the trunner, bro. That's his era. And I still wear them to this day, and I love them. Because if you talk to Travis Scott, he'll say to me, I perform in the same arenas. I even have more fans because I use their floor for seats. Every athlete wants to be an entertainer. Every entertainer wants to be an athlete. The middle point for me is the jump man. Let's go Eminem, my brother, Slim Shady. It was actually the 10th anniversary of 8 Mile. That's what these shoes were originally for. We missed the date. And then I think it was the 20th anniversary of Shady Records. The first sample we got back had chrome back here, and Marshall wanted to keep it, him and Paul Rosenberg, we played off of the chrome here. They wanted to keep it cohesive. M's really good at that. Paul Rosenberg's really good at that, so we changed the tabs to black, and that's why this tab is what I had to send to them to get approved. M's backwards, E there. Carhartt material, never been done before. It was supposed to be for 8 Mile. The designer and I, who no longer works here, but big shout out, Ben, you know who you are. We sat down and watched 8 Mile together, and then we sat down and watched 8 Mile separately. He's like, I watched it like 8 times, man. I said, me too. I said, the only consistent theme I'm seeing is that Carhartt jacket. And he's like, yeah. He's like, do you think we could go get Carhartt? And the Carhartt folks sent the Carhartt material over to the factory, and we made 23 pair of these. This is the original sample, Look-See. Actually, the tag is still in there. Beagle might go crazy, but I don't think we had a contract with them. We just shook hands and said we're gonna do it. And just the way this shoe, what it means to the sneaker game, like I charge this one to the game. It's like, keep people dreaming, keep people thinking like what's next. Nobody knew they wanted a Carhartt material type of shoe. And now I think the company Nike Inc. We've done some shoes with Carhartt as well. So this is a legacy piece. The backstories of these are Kawhi Leonard was signed to the Jordan brand. He was still in San Antonio. Foot Locker was shooting a commercial with him. And we were trying to figure out somebody to pair up with Kawhi to bring out his personality a little bit, to make him comfortable. And I was like, he loves Nipsey. He loves Nipsey Hussle. And people in the room were looking at me like, can we get to Nipsey? I was like, yeah, I just text him, it'll be all right. I said, we're shooting this Foot Locker commercial. We got a fee, blah, blah, blah. It's in San Antonio. He's like, don't worry about the money, OG. I said, do you have a new album or anything coming out? He's like, yeah, it's called Victory Lap. And I was like, maybe we can license one of the tracks for the commercial. They fly down. He still won't take a fee. And he killed it all day long. Him and Kawhi were vibing. I have some great pictures I can share with you about it. And I was like, how can I say thank you to this guy? Like, he just wanted a hotel room and a first class flight for him and his girl to come hang out with us for the day. And I said, yo, your favorite Jordans or threes, right? He's like, yeah. I said, I'm gonna do something for you. So that's how these came out. And you see the VL on the side for Victory Lap. Well, I actually have a Victory Lap tattoo right here. That's how much I love Nip, just as a friend. You can see at the bottom the VL. But these are really, really special. There's probably 10, maybe. I see, feel, hear everything. Whether it's Chris Stapleton, whether it's Billie Eilish, whether it's Lil Uzi Vert, whether it's Trav, whether it's Khaled. Like, when I hear these certain things and sounds, I can equate it to whether they fit within the culture that we've created here at the Jordan brand. One of the top 5 shoes in my career as this table rotates. Man, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go AJ Wanlo, Travis Scott. These are my pair that I beat up every single day. You can see they're worn. These shoes wear great when they're worn. He didn't want a low. He liked the AJ 1 high, OG 1 high that we did. I kept sending him pictures of 1 lows. And back in the day, they had a fatter tongue. They're a little bit higher. And he's like, bro, don't send me no more pictures, bro. And he just stopped answering. And I'm like, oh. And then one day I'm sitting in my office, I'm looking at the AJ 1 high OG, and I'm like, I called Paul Ceviche, who was a designer at the time for us. I said, Paulie, come down to my office, man. I got an idea. I said, can you make this a low? He was like, yeah. And I said, don't do the fat tongue. Like, Trav's been wearing a ton of dunks. Like, I've been paying attention when we're around him. I haven't said nothing. And I was like, maybe, just maybe, he might like him. He comes to campus, we're going through his apparel for his AJ 1 high. Paulie breaks these out and he starts screaming, ah, oh my gosh. He calls Chase B on the phone. Chase, look. Chase is like, what in the world? What are y'all doing over there? He's like, yo. Trav went to the bathroom, changed his clothes, put on the hoodie, the shorts, these shoes, and kept looking down. He's like, man, they gonna sit right with jeans. He's talking to himself. He's like, yo, looks at me, gives me a dirty look. You fooled me, bro. And I said, nah, I just been watching you. You know, like, that's what family does, right? Like, I'm paying attention to him. That's another secret sauce. It's like, you have to be very selfless to do this job. It's not about me, ever. I've seen old people, young people, little kids, big kids. It doesn't matter. Like, this kind of validates what Jordan is to me because it's for everyone. You know, it's just not a certain subset of culture. It's the Jordan culture that we've created and built over time. And, you know, the secret to the play shoes and the brown is Texas and the dirt. And him being at Granny's house and wearing play shoes and not caring if you mess them up or not. And that's exactly what these are. I feel like they look better worn than brand new out the box. So wear your sneakers, people. Eminem, a little bit of a business driver for us because Paul calls and says, hey, M's performing at Super Bowl. I'm holding them opposite for a reason. Look at that. Look at that. It's iconic. Along with the Jumpman. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane to me. And on the inside, you got the mask, you got the Shady Records logo. On the back, Slim Shady. Like, he was coming back as Slim Shady. There's actually ones with black tabs on the back, so M couldn't figure out which one to wear, so he wanted one of each. If you go back and look at the video at the Super Bowl. Choose the right partners that's authentic to you, and it comes through every single time. Legends of Summer. And when you guys see the breadth of what Legends of Summer really is from Justin Timberlake, and I got a phone call from Justin, and these are, like I said, long-term relationships. Sometimes we can go months without talking, but it's family, you picking up the phone. He's like, yo, I'm going on tour with Jay-Z. We're gonna call it Legends of Summer. It's more of a suit and tie feel. So I get off the phone and I'm texting Tinker, where you at? I need you. Tinker's like, what do you need? I said, I need you, bro. He's like, what's happening? You're excited for once. And I was like, yeah, I'm excited. So Tinker's starting to listen to it in his office. He started sketching, he's starting to draw on his iPad, and he comes up with this reflective type of things. If you put a light on this, Tinker is amazing because he's like, they're gonna be on stage and there's gonna be lights and it'll pop. And what happens is, as I'm walking back across to my office, Justin calls me again, yo, we got a pivot. I was like, what's the pivot? The stage is gonna be blood red. We need all red shoes. I'm like, what? I said, well, I got Tinker, and I didn't even tell Tinker because I wanted him to keep going because I just knew it was really, really good. Then one of the developers actually came up with this, Dorothy. Justin named it. He loves naming shoes, by the way. Y'all probably didn't know that. And what happened was there's a 2, there's a 3, there's a couple more 1s. We ended up with so many shoes here because they had only 15 dates. I was trying to get 15 different shoes. And Justin's like, yo, hey, do you think this is possible, like a scavenger hunt? I said, well, what do you want to do, JT? He's like, I want to give them away. After I wear them, I'm gonna sign them, put the city, put the date, and then leave them at an iconic location. There's people out there with these, and then there's some friends and family still floating around. But like this as a set is in my top 5. Those Legends of the Summer are like my babies because it was almost like we weren't supposed to do it. It couldn't have been done in the time frame, but we did it. And we did it with a Retro 2 who nobody was checking for 2s at the time. The 3, what everybody was talking about, but the 1s is a precursor to what was to come of 1s. This shoe, the Biggie Air Jordan 13, happened through relationships. Mrs. Wallace, Wayne Burrow, Biggie's manager, shout out James Cruz, one of my close friends. Like, this shoe was done in 2017. And we were gonna do it for Biggie's, I think, 45th birthday. We wanted to celebrate big. And this shoe was actually coming out. Black Red 13, Black Cat. We're looking at it, I'm like, black and red lumberjack. Like, you know, rapping Duke, daha, daha. You never know rap could take you this far. So you got Chris's face, you got If You Don't Know, You Know, black and red lumberjack. And the thing I love about these, 50th anniversary of hip hop, the year 2023. We held on to them since 2017 because we were trying to find the right moment. This job is also about a lot of patience. These things just don't happen. They just don't. I wish they did. But this, you know, blessed by the guy, Mrs. Wallace and Wayne. And I said, hey, we should auction them off. Instead of just giving you the friends and family pairs, we should auction them off and raise money for the Christopher Wallace Foundation. And we ended up raising over $500,000. And we're working with the foundation now from our Black community commitment standpoint, from the Jordan brand, which, you know, we started with George Floyd. It's $100 million over 10 years, and Michael gave 50, the brand gave 50. And this is just to show you, like, it says it right there, it was all a dream. Like, didn't know how much money we were gonna raise, if we were gonna raise anything, but when you're raising money for a charity, it doesn't matter. It's going to a great cause. So, you know, Mrs. Wallace used to do small things like take the elders in her community, like to buffets and stuff that are in Brooklyn that don't have a chance to go out. Now she can expand this into education, like the mission of the foundation, because for me, that's what it's about, as well as giving back. But his legacy lives on. Michael born in Brooklyn. Guess what? This guy's born in Brooklyn. Spike Lee, Red Hook, Mike Tyson, Carmelo Anthony, born in Brooklyn. Like, we have so many ties within this family, and we're all so close, and we all help each other get to the next level. I felt like that took the Christopher Wallace Foundation to the next level, where they can help some kids in Brooklyn and Red Hook, where, you know, kids are struggling these days, and you know, where he was born, and he's still able to give back. That's pretty powerful. My first pair of Jordans was the bread ones. For some reason, I think my son Christian has my bread ones, I think. I couldn't find them, so I had to wear the patent leather ones. But even better, inside of these is the word family. So when you see me with these on, it's a special moment, special occasion. It's 85 and I see these breads and I'm like, whoa, black and red shoes? Look at those white ones. Wonder how I get them. And to get those AJ1 breads, I cut grass. I was $20 short and my mom was like looking at my dad like, yo, he's worked really hard. There's nobody else's grass to cut. So she's like, I'm gonna give him the $20. He's like, yeah, you go do what you do, you know? And the marketing around it, the mystique already of Michael Jordan, me having watched him play, being a big NC State fan and ACC and Tobacco Road and Len Bias is in our backyard. I slept with him on, I slept with him next to my nightstand. I wiped him off with a rag. The toothbrush thing wasn't even invented then. I was doing that too. I didn't want my shoes to get messed up. They meant so much to me because of what that man stood for, what Michael Jordan was doing on the basketball court. All right, let's go. Take these off because they're just new. They're just new. They're newer. I gotta kill 2 more. The set is off the table. This is the craziest game ever. Man, this game is terrible. I'm used to winning. I feel like I'm losing. Lumberjack soles for Notorious B.I.G. His logo.
Now you gotta go from 3 to 2.
I'm gonna go with the old beaters. Man, look how the business worked out, the low and the high. Yeah, I'm sticking with the OGs, sticking with the first ones. Changed my life. Never thought I'd work at Nike. Didn't know, didn't understand, didn't know anything about the sneaker game. But when you look back on it and how things play out, it's pretty damn cool that, you know, this was what my first Jordan and that I work at this place. It's amazing. You know, I want to say thank you to H, Larry, Michael, obviously, and Michael's team, Esty and Curtis. They believed in me, and I believed in myself, and it doesn't get much better than these. What I see from, you know, looking far out, what I see is Indian sneaker culture coming from that continent. Africa, Afro beats is amazing. It's the new pop music. It's time, Africa, and I know it is. Retros are great. We need to make a shoe that takes us into the next millennium. I think we have that in somebody named Travis Scott. Khaled does a great job. Every team has a champion. That's Khaled for us. He's a champion. J Balvin takes us to the Latino world. Tiana Taylor, she's coming up with a launch here shortly, you know, from a female point of view. Not everyone can sell a shoe, guys. Like, this is hard. You gotta work hard for it. You gotta show people something different. That's my challenge to the world. Because the story, again, is an American dream. You can do it too, kids. You can do it too, adults. Dream big. I've had plenty of people try to put me in a box before. Oh, he only does this. And then I show him something different. Michael did it too. He don't play no defense. Defensive player of the year. He can't shoot free throws. Shoots one with his eyes closed. So I take those lessons from him and know that, like, when you're prepared, you're not scared. You can talk to somebody you don't even know. If you pass them in the airport and they have on some Jordans you like, if you say nice shoes, you've made their day. It's amazing. This thing is bigger than basketball.